How would you like to have that confidence of not only being able to bomb your serve like that, but know with certainty you're executing every single phase with world-class technique? I've boiled down 15 years of serve research, transforming thousands of players' serves into just 5 common mistakes, which, if you master, which you will by the end of this video, is gonna give you that confidence and certainty knowing that you're executing every single phase with world-class serve technique. We're gonna start with the 5th most common mistake and close with the number 1 most common mistake. So let's dive right in to mistake number 5. If your serve feels off balance, unnatural, or just inconsistent right now, this mistake is going to be an absolute game changer for you. Where if we pull out Alcaraz, Sinner, and Djokovic and look at them from a side angle, you'll notice in this first most common mistake is that they're going to load in a specific pattern with their feet. And the challenge in the mistake that so many players make is that when they toss on their serve and when they load, they won't achieve the perfect loading position with the legs. Now, there is some variation if you're using the platform or the pinpoint, but if we look at those best players in the world, you'll notice that as they toss, they're not gonna move their feet or take steps, but they're rather gonna fluidly toss, bend, and tilt and finish in a checkpoint where their knees are gonna be shifted over their toes. So the way you wanna correct this mistake is when you're completing your toss, rather than tossing and going up and taking steps and then accelerating, what you wanna focus on achieving is the next time you serve, focus on tossing, bending, and tilting all together to load where your knees should be shifted over the front of your toes. What this is gonna allow you to do is by shifting your knees in front of your toes, it's then gonna allow you to generate that perfect forward momentum as you go up and accelerate into the serve. Now, here's an accelerated learning hack. Take a look at Carlos Alcaraz working on his serve with his coach and notice what he's doing. He's not serving full speed. And the reason why I want to show you, and the real secret as to what Alcaraz is doing, is an accelerated learning technique called time slicing. Because you've probably watched so many videos where you got a good tip, but you weren't actually able to implement it. One of the accelerated learning tactics that you can implement the next time you practice is take this first checkpoint, and rather than focusing on trying to do it right away onto your serve, be slow, be deliberate, be focused, be just feeling all of the checkpoints. And this is just one of the many techniques that I've used to master the Alcaraz serve in just a matter of a few practice sessions. So we've covered mistake number 5. Let's go on to mistake number 4. So if you feel like your serve is wristy, tight, or just overall weak, you're likely making this 4th mistake, which has everything to do, if we pull out the best players in the world again, you'll see, especially from a pro angle, notice that when they release the ball on their toss, they're all not gonna be, which is the common mistake, tossing to the right of their hand, but rather, the mistake that so many players make and how to correct it is what you want to focus on doing is actually releasing the ball at about eye level, which then allows the ball to travel inside the court, which is to the left if you're a righty or to the right if you're a lefty. And what this allows you to do is by tossing slightly to the left such that the ball will bounce approximately in front of your left foot, what it allows you to do is generate then a perfect contact point as you accelerate going up. Whereas conversely, if you're tossing to the right, which so many players make this mistake, it's causing your contact to be in a really suboptimal position where now you're using wrist, you're using rotation, you're using forearm, whereas what you want to focus on instead is simply releasing the ball at about eye level, which then makes the ball travel to your left and then gives you the ability of generating that perfect contact point. Here's the 2 best drills that can immediately correct and perfect your toss to give you that huge force when you serve. In this first drill, you want to find a fence, and what you want to do is position yourself slightly away from the fence and focus on tossing up and catching the ball with your strings, where the contact should occur in a line with your shoulder, just like that. So if you're to drop the ball, it should bounce right around where your left foot is. So you toss up, catch the ball, let it drop, perfect, just like that. And that is gonna correct and give you that optimal toss and contact. In the second drill, you can place your racket just inside the court in line with your left foot and focus on trying to achieve that perfect toss where the ball will land right on the strings, just like that. Now that we've mastered the toss in mistake number 4, let's go into 3, where I'm gonna teach you how to maximize the force from your entire body. Now, if your power has hit a ceiling and you just can't go to the next level, you're probably making this common mistake, where if we take a look at the best players in the world, you'll notice specifically from a side angle that they're gonna achieve the identical configuration during their windup. So whether it's Alcaraz, whether it's Sinner, whether it's Djokovic, they all achieve 2 core checkpoints with their entire body when they complete their wind-up checkpoint. Where the first most common mistake that players make is with their elbow will either be too high or too low. What the best servers in the world will do is they'll have their elbow either in a straight line or slightly below. This is what's gonna allow you to then, when you accelerate, generate that maximum force traveling down into your pro drop position. The second piece is notice the specific angle of their right elbow. You'll see that it's specifically gonna be bent at a 90-degree angle, forming a right triangle. This is crucial as well to generating that downward racket head speed. And if your serve feels tight or that you're not getting that full deep stretch into the pro drop position, you're likely not achieving these key checkpoints. The third and final mistake that players make during this wind-up phase is in relation to the tilting of the trunk. Now, one of the main sources of power on the serve, which really makes everything possible during the acceleration, is what's called lateral trunk tilt, where when the pros serve, they tilt their trunk back to about a 45-degree angle, which then allows them to accelerate and tilt, traveling up and forward, making contact at about a 45-degree angle in front. So it goes from 45 behind to 45 in front, and that's how you master a world-class wind-up checkpoint. So how exactly can you fix and make sure that you're developing every single one of these checkpoints the very next time you step out on the court? Now, to master these checkpoints, I'd highly encourage you to use the AI-powered drills in the NeuroSkill app, which you can get access to by clicking the button below. These specific drills, you'll set your phone on the court with you, and it will guide you through and walk you through tracking all of these checkpoints in real time, as well as step-by-step drills with immediate feedback after every rep. It's literally the same thing as though I were out there on the court teaching it with you. So if you want to learn more about that app, click the button below. All right, world-class athletes, so we've covered mistake number 3. Let's jump in to number 2. So if your serve just feels pushy, weak, tight, or just not confident or effortless, it's likely you're making this mistake number 2. Where if we look at the best servers in the world, you'll notice that they'll all do the same thing with their elbow as they initiate their acceleration. This is the key, and I haven't found anything else in my 15 years of experience that corrects this specific problem of the waiter's tray or the wrist extension serve than simply focusing on when you accelerate, emphasizing bending the elbow in from that 90-degree value that we covered earlier to the 70-degree angle. So in essence, if you focus on just keeping your wrist relaxed while you accelerate and very easily bend your elbow in, what will happen is rather than your racket opening and traveling back or up, which is this common mistake of the wrist extension or the racket traveling up, rather, by just bending the elbow in, staying relaxed, and generating the power from your entire body, it's the key to just getting that easy, fluid force as you accelerate into that pro drop position. The best drill that's gonna give you this is simply pick up a racket, and you can follow along with this right now, where position your racket in that trophy position that we mentioned earlier, either just looking at your elbow or using the NeuroSkill app drill, and focus on just bending, driving your legs, and then bending your elbow in. So you're gonna bend with your feet, you're gonna drive your legs, and you're gonna bend your elbow in all together like that. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna fluidly and effortlessly allow you to then create that easy downward racket head force into the pro drop position, which then allows you to unlock that massive upward force coming from the shoulder, coming from the pec, and coming from your entire body. So that's mistake number 2. Let's now close with the number 1 most common mistake. So the number 1 most common serve mistake has everything to do with the kinetic chain. Now, this is the final boss of serve technique. When you achieve this checkpoint, everything unlocks to the next level. And I can speak from my own personal experience that I used to make this common mistake, and once I corrected it, which you will, and I'm gonna give you all the best drills to do it, it just skyrockets your power. It's what allows you to feel that you're now generating force, not from your arm, but from your entire body, which has everything to do with the timing and the direction of the acceleration. So if we take a look at some of the best servers in the world, you'll notice that the specific orientation of how they accelerate follows a distinctive pattern. You'll notice that once they achieve the optimal wind up and loading checkpoints that we've covered so far in this video, the very first thing that accelerates is the legs. And the common mistake that so many players make that's killing your power is you'll put in so much hard work focusing on mastering all of these checkpoints, but then what you'll do is you'll achieve these checkpoints, but then rather than driving your legs and initiating your kinetic chain from the ground, you'll rather prematurely drop your arm, drop your racket, and tilt your trunk. So in essence, you'll hit all these checkpoints, but then right before you swing, you'll drop and then you'll drive your legs. So your serve will always feel weak and you'll never tap into the maximum amount of force from the entire ground. So the specific way to correct this checkpoint is simply making sure that when you achieve these checkpoints that we've covered so far in the video, that rather than accelerating from the top down, you want to accelerate from the bottom up. So you want to emphasize hitting these checkpoints and then driving your legs as the force initiator. And I'm telling you, from my own personal experience, when you drive your legs first, it transforms everything. So in my 15 years experience, here's the best drill that I found to get players to do this in a matter of just a few minutes. Simply focus either using the NeuroSkill app with the AI powered drills or working with a coach. Have them assess your body and focus on doing shadow swings where you're gonna load up, you're gonna get into position, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna exaggerate the kinetic chain. So in essence, you're gonna focus on loading, getting into these checkpoints, and then focus on jumping and then swinging. So this exaggeration is a scientifically proven accelerated learning principle which forces your body to adjust the timing and forces you to really feel the legs occur before the acceleration. It was one of the drills that allowed me to develop that gorgeous, beautiful Alcaraz wind-up checkpoint that you see that I've mastered. I want to congratulate you for watching this video all the way to the end. I encourage you, go back through the start of this video, with footage of your serve and review all of these checkpoints. If you want me to analyze your serve footage using our comprehensive AI scan and not just track these 5 checkpoints, but all the hundreds of different checkpoints on your serve and then give you a step-by-step plan with AI-powered drills, I'd invite you to join the NeuroSkill app by clicking below. I'm so grateful and excited and pumped about our journey to developing a world-class serve together. I'm fired up to be your coach, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go.